Cheap means different things to different people, so it makes sense that the best cheap camera won't be the same for everyone. That's why we've taken the time to test a range of affordable cameras. In our roundup below, you'll find everything from simple entry-level options to models that represent excellent value for the features they offer. From our hands-on reviews, we think the best cheap camera for most people in 2024 is the Nikon D3500. It's a novice-friendly model with a capable sensor, huge battery life, and trademark DSLR handling, all for an excellent price. To help you find the right model, we've listed the top 5 best budget camera and their key features, plus the things you need to consider to help you choose the best one for you, and as always, you can check pricing for any of these products in the description below. Like the video, comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Now, let's get started. Number 5. Canon EOS RP. The best affordable full-frame camera. Reasonably priced for a full-frame mirrorless camera, the Canon EOS RP is a compelling option if you want to shoot with a large sensor. Built around the same RF mount as the EOS R, its native lens lineup is limited, but a bundled adapter at least allows you to use existing EF glass. Despite housing a 26.2 megapixel full-frame sensor, our tests found the EOS RP to be remarkably compact yet reassuringly well made. Button placement will irk some, but we found both the physical controls and touchscreen to be responsive. With Canon's Digic 8 processor driving performance, autofocus proved fast and reliable in our review. Burst rates dropped to 4 FPS with continuous focus, but the AF generally did a solid job of locking on. We also found the buffer to be more generous than expected. The Canon EOS RP isn't without compromise. Besides a lack of sensor-based image stabilization, battery life was underwhelming in testing, while the metering system seemed slightly sensitive. Rolling shutter and a 4K crop also limit its video skills. But if you want full-frame mirrorless shooting on a limited budget, it's hard to argue with the Canon EOS RP's core performance. Arguably a much more compelling proposition for those looking to move to full-frame mirrorless shooting than the EOS R, the EOS RP is blessed with a good build, great image quality, sound autofocus performance, and many further pleasures. The sheen is only rubbed off a little by a lack of logical lens options and compromised video capabilities. But if you already own EF lenses and have no use for video, it might be just what you were hoping Canon would end up releasing. Number 4. Fujifilm Instax Mini 12, the best cheap camera for instant photography. Our favorite instant camera is also one of the top cheap cameras for those who want the no-frills fun of instant photography. Simple and affordable, we found in testing that the Fujifilm Instax Mini 12 builds on everything that the Instax Mini 11 did well, making it easy to create punchy party snaps. While prints can seem a little small, the Mini 12 makes it straightforward for first-time users to capture rich, attractive images at a reasonable price. Though its design proved a little slippery during our review, we think the Mini 12 is otherwise a comfortable camera for anyone to use. It now turns on with a twist of the lens, which we think is more intuitive than previous editions. You still get the option of close-up mode by pulling the lens out, while parallax correction means the viewfinder more accurately represents how scenes will be printed. From our tests, the Mini 12 continues to overexpose images in bright sunlight, although repositioned sensors mean your fingers are less likely to interfere with light readings. We have an idea in our minds of what the perfect instant camera for newcomers looks like, and with every iteration, the Fujifilm Instax Mini series takes a couple of steps closer to it. The Instax Mini 12 is child's play to use, produces lovely-looking prints, and remains our top recommendation for instant photography on a budget. Number 3. Olympus OMD EM10 Mark IV. The best compact mirrorless camera on a budget. If you're an eager photographer in the market for a compact mirrorless camera, the Olympus OMD EM10 Mark IV should be top of your list. An affordable Micro Four Thirds model, it pairs a capable 20.3 NOP sensor with impressive in-body image stabilization to deliver consistently attractive images. An ergonomic grip, approachable button layout, and handy flip-down touchscreen make the Mark IV an accessible upgrade for smartphone users. A wide catalog of lenses also give it extra versatility beyond the kit lens. With footage capped at 4K 30p and no microphone or headphone input, video isn't a major focus. Instead, this is a small, powerful camera for stills. We discovered in our review that dynamic range is better than anything a smartphone can capture, while the IBIS system keeps images sharp even when shooting handheld. We found that AF tracking across Mark IV's 121 points can be a little patchy, but improved face detection and subject tracking from Mark III mean it's largely reliable. Our tip is to stick to center point focus and you'll find it fast, even in low light. The EM10 Mark IV is an easy camera to overlook, but if you're looking for a small, still-focused camera, it deserves serious consideration. Olympus has carefully refined this model over the years, focusing strongly on taking beautiful pictures. Its combination of a 20 megapixel Micro Four Thirds sensor, 3-inch flip-down touchscreen, and 5-axis in-body image stabilization put it in a different league to smartphones and most pocket cameras. If you're a beginner or enthusiast who's looking to take the next step up in photography, this is a brilliant option. Number 2, Fujifilm XT200, the best cheap camera with a retro design. We're still fans of the Fujifilm X-T30, but this cheaper, learner-friendly version of that camera is our favorite mirrorless option for those looking for an affordably entry point into photography or filmmaking. It's a big improvement over its XT100 predecessor in almost every way, including the hybrid autofocus system. Unlike the Fujifilm X-A7, you also get a viewfinder for framing shots, which is especially good news in bright light while traveling. We discovered in our review that image quality was reliably lovely, producing excellent color and dynamic range. We also love the lightweight, retro design and fantastic 3.5-inch rear touchscreen. The only downside we found from our tests is that subject tracking can be a little hit and miss during burst shooting and isn't available for video. Otherwise, we think this is one of the best cheap cameras around for those who want a new mirrorless model. Where Fujifilm fell just short of hitting the mark with the X-T100, the company has succeeded the second time round. As a pared-back version of the X-T30, the X-T200 makes for a much better entry-level camera than its predecessor thanks to its better autofocus performance, superior video prowess, and its burst of speed. But little niggles like an unreliable eye sensor and an uncomfortably placed joystick diminish the advantages of having a viewfinder. Number 1. Nikon D3500, the best cheap camera for most people. DSLRs may be less and less common nowadays, but they still offer excellent value compared to mirrorless cameras. The Nikon D3400 was a hugely successful and popular DSLR, and the Nikon D3500 has taken its baton into the mirrorless age, making it the best budget camera for new photographers. Key changes include an improved APS-C sensor and a longer battery life of 1,550 frames per charge. While it's also worth considering the mirrorless alternatives in our guide, the D3500 is the most user-friendly option in this list, particularly if you want to use it with longer lenses. In our tests, we found that its 24-megapixel sensor delivered high-quality images. It also proved super easy to handle thanks to a better grip and slightly lighter body than the D3400. From our review, we think this is a DSLR that really nails the basics, making it easy and affordable for novices to upgrade their photography. It's now over 3 years old, but the Nikon D3500 remains the best DSLR around for beginners looking to embrace creative, manual photography with a traditional setup. Built around a solid core of great image quality, intuitive menus, and a superb battery life, the D3500 now offers impressive value too. Mirrorless rivals should also be considered, particularly if you need a touchscreen or 4K video. But Nikon's entry-level DSLR continues to fly the flag for the format by offering the kind of handling and value that mirrorless cameras struggle to match.